Let me start with natural compounds. Situation with natural compounds in our society can be characterized, in short, as a natural craze. People are so much brainwashed about the nature of natural compounds that as soon as anything, any label, have the word natural in it, they just stop questioning and they get caught with their guards down and they are ready to consume. And sometimes I joke during my presentations, if we take potassium cyanide, which is one of the strongest poisons in inorganic chemistry, put it in a bottle and write the natural on it, most probably a lot of people will buy and consume. The other day, I was looking for the frame for my eyeglasses, and I was amazed to see that even on the frame for eyeglasses, it is written, naturally rimless. How the piece of plastic, or piece of glass, or piece of steel can be natural. I understand, it's a marketing tool, and it works. Now, what is the problem with natural compounds? Why is it that one of the chapters in the book is about natural compounds, to explain to the general public what the dangers are? Why is it that we have to be educated to the extent that natural compounds won't harm them? First of all, the main premise of people who are advocates for natural compounds is the following. Natural, coming from plant source or from animal kingdom, or coming from minerals. And our bodies, as a product of evolution, they are somehow inherently connected. So the main premise is that if the compound is coming not from the chemical laboratory, which is coming from plant, somehow, inherently, will be benign to the human bodies. I completely disagree with this, because there is absolutely no justification for this assumption. The compound, which is, for different reasons, enzymatic reasons, biochemical reasons, is synthesized in a certain part of the plant, is not, to any extent, closer, either by its structure or by its origin, by its function, to the human body as any other compound which is synthesized in the chemical laboratory. Now, if we look at the list of known carcinogenic compounds, the list is compiled by the most reputable international body, which is called International Agency for Research on Cancer, and abbreviation is IARC. And there are several groups, and the first group is the compounds which are proven to be carcinogenic, and some of them, group 2A and 2B, probably carcinogenic, possibly carcinogenic, etc. And you will see that natural compounds are well represented in that list of carcinogenic compounds. Let's take asbestos. Asbestos, maybe 50 years ago, no one knew about asbestos in general public. It was known in the scientific domain. But now everybody knows about asbestos. If 20 years ago someone would say asbestos can be harmful to your body, or asbestos can be carcinogenic, I'm positive that scientists would have definitely been ridiculed. Why? Because asbestos is natural. We cannot touch that. It's natural. Now everybody knows. Now each time you turn on the TV, what is it that you see? Lawyers asking people, hey, if you have ever been exposed to asbestos, contact us and we'll make money for you. This is the situation with asbestos. And if you look at the list of the IARC, as I was talking about, there are many compounds of natural origin. Now, let's look at the compounds or structures which are organic molecules, which are not coming from the nature, but are coming from inside our body. Even 10, 15 years ago, if any scientist would say that compound which is inside the body can be harmful to the human body, this would have been absolutely a revolutionary idea. We know the story with hormone replacement therapy. Idea was a very good idea when the ovaries don't generate the same amount of female hormone and the women are suffering from all those symptoms like hot flashes and many others, which are related to PMS syndrome, then it is a good idea to supplement the body with certain amount of female hormone. And thousands of women were using patches which contains estrogen. And patches were made in such a way so that it was pumping much more estrogen than it was supposed to do. It is not a perfect patch. And later on, when the concentration became much higher inside the body, there was a spike in the incidence of breast cancer. This is why how research was initiated to understand what is going on, how the estrogen can be carcinogenic to the women's body. Now, estrogen is included in group 1, which are compounds which are proven to be carcinogenic. Androgens, male hormones, are also in the same category, but they are a suspect carcinogens. They are in group A. Because there is a possibility that increased concentration of androgen inside the body can also cause, most probably, prostate cancer. Another piece of knowledge that the general public is completely unaware of, even if we take the one compound from one part of the body and introduce into another part of the body, it can make harm. So phenomenologically, it's an incredibly interesting thing. We thought that we are very well designed and the evolution has taken care of all these things. But the body itself is such a delicate balance that we should do everything possible not to upset the balance. The example is insulin. Years ago, when companies have installed millions of dollars to come up with an inhalable form of insulin, no one could even imagine that insulin taken from other part of the body and introduced through lungs, all of a sudden can cause problems. And certain companies, having spent 50, 70 millions of dollars, just gave up on this because there is a spike in incidence of lung cancer. In which case, natural compounds are good. So I'm not against the natural compounds across the board. It's not. Natural compounds are good only in those cases when we know what exactly we're working with. We take the natural compounds from the source. It can be plant, it can be mineral, or it can be the animal body. After that, we identify the compound. We understand the structure. We test this compound inside the body, understand what is happening with the compound, what the metabolism is, and I will talk with metabolism in other contexts also. What will be the function of that compound inside the body? Only after that, we should allow that compound into our precious body.